In case you missed it, a GAO report released last week contained 252 pages of riveting information and updates about American weapon systems. It unpacks a few nuances related to the workforce needed to maintain those systems, and one little nugget that came out was about Boeing's Air Force One project and the lack of skilled workers who are able to obtain the right security clearances to work on that project. Hi, this is Lindy Kaiser with clearancejobs.com. Obviously, we always talk about security clearance topics here on these weekly updates. If you followed the news last week, there was several news reports talking about Air Force One production and that program, and specifically how a skilled security clearance cleared workforce shortage was a specific problem related to production of that aircraft. That should come as zero surprise for anybody who is in or around the cleared hiring workforce right now. A few nuggets in there that are worth mentioning is they were talking about aerospace workers and aerospace mechanics specifically in that GAO report. We talk a ton about the basically 0% unemployment rate for cleared cybersecurity workers, how folks with the right technical skills and the right level of security clearance obviously have a wide variety of employment options. But it's worth knowing that across, the workforce, there are a lot of these niche industries, including mechanical, positions, engineers, even blue collar positions, where there is just currently a lack of qualified, capable workers. Now, we always get pushback when we post these updates. There's some of a disconnect in terms of where people are applying, what they want. You might be applying for these positions saying, hey, why aren't I getting noticed? Sometimes it goes down to clearance level. They didn't build that nuance in the report. It literally is just a micro nugget amongst recommendations specific to that Air Force One production, and saying one of the reasons that that program is facing delays is because they are not able to clear as many workers as they need to. They basically had lower rates of individuals able to obtain the right security clearances, even people they have submitted and pushed through that process for that facility production in San Antonio. So what that comes down to, you submit folks for a security clearance, maybe you're counting on a certain percentage of those being able to pass. If a smaller percentage of those pass the background investigation that you're expecting, you basically have to overhire for all of your positions. Now, when it comes to cleared contracting work, anybody who knows the nuance behind that is you can't always necessarily offer an unlimited number of positions. You have only so many billets, only so many sponsorships, only so many people you're able to get cleared. I think this just points to the issue. We're seeing security clearance processing times improve, but that improvement is still not enough to make up for the workforce disparity in people that we need to fill these positions. It's something that was getting a lot of attention pre-COVID. We were talking about it. I think COVID came in and became the big elephant in the room that everyone obviously had to talk about. That had its own challenges. Being able to kind of maintain status was good. We just wanted to stay afloat. Now, as programs really need to see through to completion and we do not have enough workers to fill those positions, I think we're going to have to start asking hard questions about how those contracts are built, where we are able to get in cleared workers, and how we can, get in more people that are able to meet the suitability and security clearance requirements of those positions. Obviously, it would be super interesting to get the data behind why some of those workers are failing those background investigations, if there are specific adjudicative guidelines that are causing more issues rather than others, if people are dropping out of the system rather than not going through. Because as we know, if you work your way through the process, many things can be mitigated. So if you're willing to take the patience and diligence, but obviously in a tight labor market where you have options, are you going to wait 1-2 years to fight to obtain a security clearance, or are you going to take that engineering position or mechanical position that's available today, offering you a salary today to get started? So clearly, probably these people are getting denied interim clearances perhaps, and aren't able to get started with work at all. That's just going to create, again, we just have this supply and demand shortage. We talk about the overall number of security clearances. The folks that fall under contract positions within that are even much smaller, around 1 million people who are actually cleared contractors. That's the pool we have to work from. That might seem a lot, but we're talking about the entire defense industrial base trying to maintain all of these, like this 252 pages of weapon systems that we could read about through the GAO this week. We basically just continue to have a supply-demand shortage. Obviously, you can look on clearancejobs.com. Everyone on Clearance Jobs has a clearance on clearancejobs.com. But the talent pool we have there, obviously we need to continue to educate and get more people involved in that process. If you are interested in this type of work and you want to work in the national security community or cleared space, great, there is demand for you. Again, like this story indicates, across fields, not just cybersecurity, not just the tech positions that we're talking about, aerospace, engineering, mechanics. If you're looking in the right city, San Antonio specifically for this Air Force One project, there are cleared job opportunities for you. We recently just released some geo reports over at clearancejobs.com. We'll be providing some links to those so you can look up information specifically about clearance salaries and opportunities in targeted regions. Clearly, these positions, as this indicates, are available across the country. So regardless of where you live, there is likely a cleared job opportunity somewhere near you. So definitely check it out. We need as many people possible coming into this workforce, and we need folks who are able to pass what is often a very stringent and time-consuming security clearance process. A lot of problems today, not a lot of solutions, but you can read more about it over at clearancejobs.com.